Welcome back to part 2 of how do we honor our body? How do we glorify God with our physical body? I'm going to continue to talk about our physical body because that's my specialty. So how do we honor our body? 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. Today in part 2, I want to talk to you about nutrition. Okay, this is the part we all hate. This is the part that everybody despises because we want to eat what we want to eat, and it's really hard to stay disciplined. But if we can just do, like I talked about the other day, the 80-20 rule, we'll be on a really good path, okay? But there's more to it, of course there is. And a couple ways that I want to talk to you about is I really want you to think about nutrition as fuel. So if you had a Ferrari and you gave it really poor gasoline, if you didn't give it high performance gasoline, it's not going to run very well, and it's not going to do all the awesome, great things that it can do, right? It's just like you, okay? You can't get up and do all the things, take care of your kids, go to work, go to the grocery store, go to soccer, do the presentation, do the sales, do all the things when you went to work on an empty stomach and you're just going off of a cup of coffee, okay? If you're not fueling your body with good nutrition, nutrient-dense foods, you're not going to perform well, and you're really not going to feel well. And you know what I mean by that, right? So how do we do that? Okay, so I really, really encourage people to track macros. And it sounds tedious and it sounds overwhelming, but it's really not. You have to just take a couple weeks, put in the time, learn how to track macros. This way you actually know what you're putting in your body. So how many carbs, how many fat, how many protein are you consuming per day? You really will truly not know this until you track your food. And I have so many people walk in the doors or online with Strength Sisters or Temple Fitness that say, Kelly, but I eat really, really healthy. And my question is always like, well, show me what you eat. And they're like, well, usually I'll have and I'm like, well, let me see, do you have any, reference or food list or journal or MyFitnessPal? And most people don't, and that's okay, but we have to start. We have to begin. Because when people start to track, a lot of times there's a few ways I see it. Women, I will see a lot of times they are under eating. They're eating 1,100 calories a day. They're eating 60 grams or less protein a day. And that's just not gonna cut it. If you're not fueling yourself, you can't perform, and it's gonna affect your health. The body's gonna do what it has to do to survive, and you're slowing your metabolic rate. You're just slowing it down every day that you continue to deprive yourself and not eat enough. Your body's going to become more efficient, and it's going to be able to live off of less and less and less so it can stay alive. But then what you're doing is you're slowing your metabolic rate. So you're no longer able to lose weight at 1,500 calories, okay? Because it's used to 1,200 calories, or it's used to 1,100 calories, okay? So then you have to cut to lose any weight, and then you're just gonna feel terrible, and it's just not gonna work. So we're hurting our metabolism by under eating. So that's the first thing I'll say is a lot of women under eat. Some men do too, they're just too busy. They skip breakfast, they have a coffee, they go, they have one meal. So we have to stop under eating. If we don't give our car gas, we're not gonna get all the places we need to be, and we're not gonna get there efficiently, okay? So we need to eat. The next thing I see a lot of times is people say they eat really, really healthy, but they didn't realize they were having so much fat or so many carbs. They thought they were probably eating 1,500 calories a day, and they were eating 2,500 calories a day because they weren't counting everything, and they just, were just going about it pretty much blind. So it opens up our eyes. It teaches us what is in foods, how many carbs, how much fat, how much protein. We really learn what's in the foods that we're consuming, and then we learn how to make good choices to make sure they're eating the right ratio of those. Now, how do you know what's the right ratio? Well, that's something that we do here with Strength Sisters and at Temple Fitness, is we will help you find the exact ratio that you need. So what you need, what I need, and what somebody else needs are all different things, okay? If you're an athlete, you're gonna need different goals of macronutrients. If you're highly stressed and you are go all the time, you're gonna need different, nutrients and macros than somebody that's very sedentary. and not as stressed as you. So a lot of things come into play. But with that being said, what I would recommend to start with is just start tracking your food so you can at least see where you're at, okay? So go to like MyFitnessPal. That's probably one of the biggest ones that has the most, the biggest library and approved foods. Start just logging your food every day, okay? So morning till night, if it goes in your mouth, you're gonna log it, okay? So you can get an idea after 1 week, all right, I'm averaging 1,700 calories a day, or whoa, I eat out a lot and I'm averaging 3,000 calories a day and I'm a 5'2", 140-pound woman. That's too many calories, no wonder I've gained weight. Or whoa, I'm only eating like 1,000 calories a day. No wonder I feel tired all the time. I'm really experiencing a lot of premenopause, postmenopause, all those hormone issues. Well, no wonder, because you're very deprived and malnourished, okay? So what I want you to do is just get MyFitnessPal or any of those apps that you feel comfortable with and just put it down. You don't even have to get an app. You can use a piece of paper or use like Calorie King, the old-fashioned book. But what's important is log for a good week, see where you're at so you can know what you're actually consuming, all right? And you'll probably be surprised. You'll be on one of those spectrums. So we teach you how to master macro tracking. It's not as complicated as it sounds, but you're worth putting the time and energy in, I could give you a meal plan, but I've done that. And what happens is you do it for 3-4 weeks and then you're bored and you throw it out the window and you didn't learn anything because I told you what to eat. I want you to figure out with your numbers, your macros that you get, whether it's 150 carbs, 120 protein, and 70 grams of fat, something like that. You figure out how to make that puzzle work with the foods that you like, that you chose, not foods that I chose that you probably don't even like, okay? That's just another fad diet. I want you to get educated. You put in a little bit of the time, invest in your health, invest in yourself. It's so worth it. If you had a Lamborghini, would you put crap gasoline in it? I bet you wouldn't, because you spent a lot of time and energy investing in that and earning that Lamborghini. It's the same thing with your body, okay? Your body is worth it. It's a big investment. We only have one. It homes our Holy Spirit. It's a temple. We need to glorify God with honoring our body. And this is one way we can do it, is by collecting data, figuring out what we're eating. Give it a try, 1 week, all right? Comment with questions. If you want help with calculating macros, if you want help with learning how to do macros, we have in-house programs here in Franklin, Tennessee, and then we have our digital Strength Sisters program. Just find out more about us, go to the website. Either way, start tracking, give it a try, comment below what you find out, any ahas, and remember, honor your body.